I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong.
The enchanting sunset over the desert of Phoenix. 20,000 fans in chorus in a sold-out arena here in Phoenix, Arizona. And we've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in the start of the first official NBA appearance from Freak.
You know, and what a huge moment this is for him. I mean, your whole life has been spent leading up to this, and finally he's going to get to take the court in the NBA. I mean, his mind has to be racing like a million miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, there are all different kinds of pressure situations. This is about as nerve-wracking as it gets. But even so, I don't think it takes away from how much he enjoys it.
On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Charlie Villanueva out there with Chandler Parsons. Then there's Anderson. Then it's Devin Harris. And it's Matthews in at the shooting guard position.
And on the bench for the Suns is Jeff Hornacek, probably one of the tougher coaches in the league. He'll bend your ear if you make mental error.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Mavericks leading by 4. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Kevin, earlier I had a chance to speak with Rick Carlisle. This is their first matchup of the season against this squad, and he knows the shot blocking in the middle will certainly be an obstacle. But he said, quote, "We've got to remain aggressive and continue to attack." Guys, he said that putting their bigs in high pick and rolls and shooting the open jumper with confidence will be key. We'll see how they do.
All right, Doris, thanks. Well, guys, they're thinking mainly about how to tackle the defense they're facing.
And that's got to be the focus. It takes a lot of game planning to come up with ways to put points on the board consistently against these guys.
And we know this coach is very comfortable game planning. He'll have a lot of ideas of how to attack this defense today.
And for Coach Hornacek, Greg, you learned from one of the toughest coaches as a player. You know, several trips to the finals. And you know this guy well, Clark. Jerry Sloan was the guy that molded Jeff Hornacek.
One of the outstanding coaches in the history of the NBA, Jerry Sloan. Although Hornacek saw all that success in Utah, this is a homecoming job for him because he started his career in Phoenix.
Knight passes to Len. It's rebounded by Dallas. 20 seconds left to play here in the first. Now Harris. Parsons outside. Just 3 on the clock. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. Mavericks lead by 9. 2K Sports. Back in a moment here from the U.S. Airways Center. Earlier we...
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I could be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court?
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Mavericks?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Freak in at power forward. Brandon Knight is out there with Sonny Weems. Then it's Alex Len, and it's Warren in at the small forward. Mavericks leading by 7. Barea with him. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Feeds it it to Anderson. 4 on the clock. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Here's Villanueva. It's deflected, and there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Phoenix making some changes. Tyson Chandler is checked in for Alex Len. P.J. Tucker comes in for T.J. Warren. And it's Booker in for Sonny Weems. And Dallas also making a switch. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Charlie Villanueva. Knight kicks to Freak. There's the dish to Tucker. 6 to shoot. Knight into the lane. And the layup's good off the glass. Knight's got 6 points in the quarter.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
And sometimes it feels like Brandon Knight is the Rodney Dangerfield of the NBA. The poor guy just doesn't get much respect.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. Through the end of last season, he'd already been on 3 teams in 5 years. On one hand, it may be disrespectful, but teams recognize his ability, too.
And on the topic of Brandon Knight, you have to wonder why he's been traded around so much. I mean, it wasn't due to a slow start.
Suns trail by 4. Here's the screen. Another field goal for him. 4 for 6 shooting tonight.
They started the game off tortoise-like, but their offense coming to life.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more pep in their step as they start to put together some rhythm.
You know, talking about Brandon Knight, part of the reason he's been traded so often is because teams are offering great prospects in return. Detroit dealt him for Brandon Jennings, and Milwaukee dealt him for Michael Carter-Williams. He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Shots good by Williams.
Darren Williams, assisted.
1:43 left to play here in the second quarter. Knight wide open, and the rebound goes to Villanueva.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
Williams with the ball, and it's Knight picking him up. They set the pick. Shot clock at 6. Inside, stolen by Len. Knight against Harris. Knight dishes to Freak. And good. Back to Ingles that time as it falls. Freak gets the bucket. And a moment to celebrate here. Those are his first official points as an NBA player. 51 seconds left in the first half. Matthews into the lane. It's deflected.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Well, they ought to be. I mean, that basic basketball time management. You've got to be aware of your clock and your situation.
Harris passes to Matthews. Wide open look. That is good. Matthews has got 9 points. Suns trail by 4. And here is Knight. 8 points for him. Nails the 16-footer.
Points just keep coming for him this quarter. And just at the right time, too, as they try to narrow the deficit.
Dallas has gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Now here's Williams. 8 points for him. Pass to Matthews. With 1 on the clock, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we're through the first. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. An exception. A different look. Len's checked in for Chandler. Freak comes in for Markieff Morris. Warren's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And Knight subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. And then for Dallas, Charlie Villanueva's checked in for Pachulia. Anderson comes in for Parsons. And Harris subbed in for Wesley Matthews. On the floor for Dallas, Anderson is out there with Charlie Villanueva. Then there's Harris. Then it's Williams. And it's Nowitzki in at the 5 spot. Phoenix leading by 3. What a year for the Suns in terms of transactions. Started the season with Dragic and Thomas on the roster and moved them both, Clark, at the deadline.
And, you know, most folks saw the Dragic trade coming after his disagreements with the team. The Thomas trade was a bit of a surprise, though.
Dishes to Villanueva for the tie. And it's Freak with the rebound. Well, with Freak, Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready. He's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school, and he could be on the NBA clock.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor, and Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
Knight, that's a 2-pointer, and that one hits back iron.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Shot by Villanueva, no good.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Kicks the land. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. Knight's got 3 assists in the game.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
To the middle. It's tipped. Stolen by Warren. Here is Knight. 12 points for him. Too long in the paint. He's hit with a 3-second violation. T.J. Warren had a very interesting start to his NBA career. Spent most of the first half in the D-League. In the second half part, he finally got some minutes and really provided a spark. And so it's Phoenix who scraped by with the win.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
NBA basketball in store from New Orleans, Louisiana, the home of the Pelicans, right here on 2K Sports. Well, it was the New Orleans. Here for New Orleans, Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Ashik. Anderson comes in for Tyreek Evans. Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Eric Gordon. And Cole subbed in for Drew Holiday. A big group substitution here for Phoenix. Lenz checked in for Chandler. Freak comes in for Morris. Warren's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And Knight subbed in for Booker.
On three-point shooting team. I mean, that's tall cotton there. Elite level marksmanship from behind the arc.
And you look at it, they've been running that fast break to perfection. Great quickness and stamina, and the determination really to attack and look for easy buckets in transition.
Anderson passes to Pondexter. Misses the 3. Suns trailing. Phoenix looked to be on the verge of making it back into the playoffs last season. Ultimately, though, Greg, they faltered in the second half of the year.
Yeah, it was a 3-team race. And after coming up short in 14, the Suns had the edge early. As you said, Kevin, they simply couldn't keep things going in the second half of the season.
And Cole kicks to Davis. To the paint. Anderson dishes to Ajinça. No one near him. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
I love how he used his height advantage on that shot.
And he had the nice soft touch with it, too.
They set the screen. Knight into the lane. And he recovers it. Warren kicks to Freak. Clock at 6. Passes to Len. No good. And New Orleans will come the other way. And the foul called on Freak. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Cole. He's guarded by Knight. Anderson passes to Pondexter. Anderson, a screen on Bledsoe. Back to Anderson. Shoots from the baseline. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Outside Knight to the inside. There's Freak. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Davis has got his 4th rebound in this one. Lets it go from the wing. Kept alive. Ajinça. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good. Ajinça's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Suns trail by 5. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
And they will call over the back on the play.
Well, he got to watch himself now. See what he was doing?
Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Court for the Suns. Freak, he's in at the 4 spot. Brandon Knight is out there with Booker. And it's Chandler. And it's Tucker in at the small forward position.
And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable three-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career.
You know, we were talking about Eric Gordon. He's always had great range, but not always the great shot selection.
You know, and that's a great point because, you know, we see now that he's starting to mature, starting to value every possession. And that's good news for the rest of that team.
Good ball movement here by the Suns. Knight dishes to Freak. And the Suns miss again.
Even in close to the hoop, that's a tough one to drain when the defense is that stifling.
And Holiday kicks to Davis. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Davis has got 4 points in the quarter.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Chandler with the screen on Holiday. Knight kicks to Freak. Shot to end this cold run. Pelicans pull it in.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close. That's his 2nd personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
Knight against Holiday. Freak passes to Chandler. It's blocked.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead. How about Anthony Davis in this one? He's got 8 points, and what a terror he's been, rejecting shot after shot.
Clark, he has owned the paint.
You look at what Anthony Davis has accomplished so far in his career, the historic comparisons. I mean, they're mind-boggling. For a kid 23, Greg, the historic comparisons were very favorable for him.
I mean, he's been compared to a young KG and Duncan quite often. But in his first few seasons, his numbers look the most similar to Hakeem the Dream. And that's about as good a company as you can get.
And he slams it one-handed.
And doing a great job here just stringing together solid possessions as they build that lead up.
I tell you, there's no substitute for consistency, Greg. You know that, I know it. You can stay in control of the game. They'll stay in control of it if they simply stay good with their execution of the game plan and don't waste any possession.
Here's Gordon. The basket good off the assist from Evan. Gordon's got 5 now. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Pelicans.
Well, in the first half of play,
A leaderboard to see the best up-tempo teams in the league. In third, the Pelicans.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the athletes to run the break all game long. So that's their edge. They're always looking to take advantage.
It's Knight with the drive. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, there was a time when some thought Tyson Chandler would be a draft bust. But, you know, it took some time before he found his niche and has been one of the best bigs in the NBA for the span of his career. You know, that shows you also when you draft guys out of high school, they're going to need a couple more years to really define who they are as players.
And the foul. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down. Quincy Pondexter, who's checked in for Eric Gordon. And the Pelicans with possession here. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Pondexter and Davis fill up the forward slots. Holiday and Evans comprise the backcourt. And it's Ashik in at the center position. So that's the group out there for New Orleans.
And looking at Drew Holiday, there's one thing he could do to really improve his game. Something that would, for the first time in a full season, help get his field goal percentage up over 45%. And that's just to get to the rim more often.
Phoenix has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4 to the middle. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. On the topic of Holiday, there's one stat that proves that he hasn't been going to the basket. He is averaging, Clark, less than 2 free throw attempts a game.
Yeah, his direct competitors are getting to the line. Guys like Lillard and Steph Curry shoot more than double the free throw. That's one reason why through last season they'd won a lot more games than Holiday.
Here's Davis. Here's Ajinça. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket. Ajinça's got 12 in the game.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass. Brandon Knight certainly can pass the orange.
They are enjoying the commanding lead.
And it really gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest. Always critical when you get ready for that home stretch.
Out to the right wing. A 3 from Anderson. And the shot is good. Anderson's got 5 points in the quarter.
That shot was made possible by the work of Anthony Davis.
Knight kicks to Freak. He dishes it to Chandler. Good on the shot.
And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Pelicans.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And also, their second chance points have been a story all night as well. That's just pure effort and hustle.
.127 left to play in the third. 5 to shoot. 14 feet away and misses it off the right side of the rim.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Knight wide open, drills it from outside. Knight's got 5 points so far.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Here's Gordon, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
Bledsoe kicks to Freak. Inside Leaner. Right wing. Warren dishes to Knight. Inside. The second chance effort. And it's Freak missing.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaking.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
Outside Knight. He feeds it to Freak. We've got 13 seconds left here in the third quarter. Out tonight. Freak with it. Second shot opportunity. The shot misses. Cole. No good.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Pelicans dance team.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. On the court for the Suns, Freak in at power forward. Sonny Weems is out there with Price. Then there's Warren, and it's Lure in at center.
Taking 2 shots. Pelicans ball.
It's lifted.
Shooting for New Orleans, Luke Babbitt. At the line for 2. New Orleans foul call. Luke Babbitt. That's his second personal foul. At the line for the Pelicans. Freak. Taking 2 shots. 2 shots. Pelicans foul call. Move that. That's his 4th personal foul.
Taking the W here. There was a... This is 2K Sports broadcasting from Brooklyn, New York, as the Nets take it to the hardwood here at the Barclays Center. Looking at the last game for the Phoenix Suns, it was a win against the Raptors. Nets. Bargnani is checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Wayne Ellington. And it's Larkin in for Jarrett Jack. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Freak in at the 4 spot. Booker out there with Brandon Knight. Then there's Len, and it's Lure in at the 3, the small forward.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the...
Time to look at our rookie leaderboard and see which of the first-year players are live in the NBA, and his teammates love him.
And he's been setting the table beautifully. I mean, that'll keep his veteran teammates really happy.
Greg, he's a fantastic facilitator. I mean, just makes everyone around him better with the willingness to play unselfishly. Well, it's been a great month for him.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
And Thomas Robinson has been on a lot of teams here in his short time in the league. Not easy to find a spot when you're always getting moved.
Outside Knight. Feeds it to Freak. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Nets were the hottest team and story a few years back, certainly, but last season they were put up for sale, surprisingly to some, Clark, midway through the year.
Yeah, that was odd timing given the new arena and rebranding. I mean, you would think after all that effort to rebuild the team, you would see it through.
The Nets making a switch here. Lopez is checked in. Larkin kicks to Lopez. Dishes it to Johnson. The shot will not go. And Phoenix the other way now.
And for the Nets being put up for sale, a big part of it was they were a team that was supposed to compete for titles. And since the move to Brooklyn, they have had trouble going deep in the playoffs.
It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And you know, with Brooklyn, I don't think anybody wants to take over a team in a rebuild mode. I mean, that's what the Nets seem to be looking at for the next few seasons. They had their shot, went all in with some of their decisions, unfortunately came up short.
Listen, no doubt the Suns were a competitive team a season ago, especially against that Eastern Conference. Took 18 wins out of the 30 contests they had against the East.
And he uses the glass on the lane. Johnson's got 6.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
The offensive rebound.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
Pass to Hollis Jefferson. to Lopez. Phoenix grabs the miss. Suns did win the games they were supposed to against the East. As you were talking about, Greg, they had no problem with any team, Clark, as you look back on the Eastern Conference.
Well, you look at the record there against the East, 18-12 against that conference, 9-7 against the playoff teams in the East. Only one of 9 teams in the entire league that could claim that.
Here's Larkin. He's guarded by Knight. Johnson at the elbow. Shot from 12. And the jumper is on the mark. Johnson's got 8.
Both teams trading punches back and forth. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
The momentum swing, really impossible to keep track of. The energy in the building just keeps going back and forth, ebbing and flowing. I'm loving it.
Looking at the last game for the Brooklyn Nets, it was a loss to Detroit.
May have been the worst effort you'll see from them all season long. Even for a game they weren't supposed to win, it should not have been that bad.
Against a lesser team, that performance wouldn't have been good enough. But play that way against a good team, and you end up with an ugly result that they had. It has not been an easy quarter for them, at least offensively speaking.
Booker the pass tonight to the inside. Lopez with the steal. Johnson outside. Now the pass to Larkin. Johnson the screen. Lopez kicks to Johnson. Just 5 on the clock. Misses the step back jump shot.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Scooped up. Lynn. And that one is stuffed right through.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then fouls it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback.
Got a pigeon on that one. Easy money right there, fellas. Going old school on you young fellas. Look that up, pigeon. Well, I tell you, he squeezed that orange as tight as he could before that throwdown.
Yeah, no way he was going to lose that thing on the way up. You're right, Clark.
And better safe than sorry on that one, guys.
4.5 games behind.
And right now for Phoenix, they've just lacked that one extra piece that could put them over the top this season. They haven't been able to kind of set themselves apart.
You know, you're right. They're not that far from being true contenders, but it doesn't look like this is the season for them to do so.
Passes it to Lopez. He dishes it to Johnson. And it's Johnson again missing. Suns leading by 3. Now here's Freak. 9 points in the game so far. Now the dish tonight. Off target from outside.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, as a coach, you can really ill afford to have those types of opportunities presented against your defense.
They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see how they play the clock.
30 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Len, good.
3 of 4 to start. Young fella came to play.
Nets trail by 3. Here's Larkin. There's a screen by Robinson. And it's Johnson penetrating. And it comes off the front of the rim.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Here's Freak. The 11-footer. And he gets the jumper to drop. And it's a 5-point Suns lead.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Larkin. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And that does it for the first. Now with more and more freshmen. New group in for the Nets. Brook Lopez is checked in for Bargnani. Thomas Robinson comes in for Young. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Hollis Jefferson. And it's Larkin in for Jarrett Jack. And the Suns here with a different look. Lenz checked in for Chandler. Freak comes in for Morris. Booker, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And it's Brandon Knight in for Eric Bledsoe. And Phoenix looking who they've got on the floor. Freak in at power forward. Brandon Knight is out there with Booker. And it's Sonny Weems. And it's Len in at the 5 spot.
What a tremendous game for Freak. 12 points, and he's managed to get 4 of his points by way of the free throw line.
And Clark, that might not make the highlight reel, but those are important points nonetheless.
Lopez a screen. Ellington kicks to Larkin. Pass to Johnson. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. The shot's good on the assist by Johnson. And it's 9 points for Robinson. Suns leading by 4. Knight kicks to Freak. From 10 feet out. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
And he's had an excellent performance overall from the field.
Here's Larkin. Lopez outside. He kicks to Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Lopez a screen. Johnson wide open. He fires. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. Freaks.
Lock it up, fellas. Lock it up.
Substitution for the Sun.
And so we wrap up the first half. Just a moment. You look at Freak in this game, he has been every... So it's the Suns taking the W in a close one. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win.
All Ernie Johnson here along with Freak, who notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
When Freak puts it all together, it's no contest to who the best player on the court is. He was outstanding.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight.